Here to focus on religion conflict. Religion is related to my major theology. The New World Order cannot be understood without accounting for the role of religion and religion organizations. Since today is the age of globalization, many people think that it is better to understand each other than past. But religion actions have been broken out for a long time, and it will be continued in future. Religion conflict was occurred between same religion or each different religion. Since the awakening of religion, wars have been fought in the name of different gods and goddesses. Still, today most violent conflicts contain religious elements linked up with ethno-national, interstate, economic, territorial, cultural, and other issues. When conflicts are couched in religion terms, they become transformed in value conflict. There are two reasons that religion conflict. First, when geographic problem is associated with faith, it occurs conflict. Second, some religious adherents have exclusive mind about other religions. So let's start to look at material. These figures show a variety of world religion. To be specific, this shows general map of world religions. This graph shows that Christian share is about 30% and Muslim take 21%. Therefore, you can notice that Christian and Muslim are major religion. Also, they are related to religion conflict a lot, as much as big religion organization. This figure shows an area of religion conflict. To be specific, you can see which place has a lot of religion conflict. Kashmir is a representative area of religion incident. Area near Turkey also have a lot of conflict. The religion conflict caused many human victims and property damage. This graph shows the religion conflict caused many human victims and property damage. This graph shows about people's real anxiety about conflict. It is related to area that has a lot of religion wars. Turkey is one example of them. Turkey takes 77%. So through this presentation, what I'm saying is it is important to solve problems that have not only environment but religion. Thank you.
I will talk about glacier. There are many glaciers in the world, but the most important and the biggest glaciers are in the Arctic, Greenland, and the Antarctic. The glacier in the Arctic is formed from freeze of seawater. On the other hand, the glaciers in Greenland and the Antarctic are continental glaciers, which is formed from snow and it covers continent. And these glaciers are melting now at rapid pace. This graph shows the extent of Arctic sea ice. In recent 2 years, 2007 and 2011, the extent of ice is much smaller than that in before 2000. You can see how rapidly the glacier in Arctic has been melting. The same things happen in Greenland and the Antarctic, and this causes many problems. First, the sea level goes up. As you can see from this graph, until now, sea levels has risen by more than 200 mm since 1880. According to IPCC, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, about 600 million people in the world will lose their houses within 50 years by the rise of sea levels. Second, When glaciers melt, methane which was trapped in the glacier gets out. The methane accelerates climate change. Last, if glaciers, especially glaciers in Greenland, melt, general circulation of the ocean can stop. As you can see from this picture, the ocean circulates itself. What is important is that the circulation of the ocean continuously affects climate all over the world. If glaciers in Greenland melt, the concentration of salt in seawater decreases. Then the water cannot reach deep sea. And finally, circulation of the ocean stops. Then we will face severe climate change. So we have to try to preserve glaciers. Thank you.
About the global CO2 emission, countries' carbon dioxide emission can be measured in two ways. The total amount of CO2 produced by the whole country or the amount of CO2 produced by each person. There are two graphs of each way about 5 countries: USA, China, Russia, India, and Japan, which are ranked with CO2 emission top 5 countries. If we look at on the right side, showing the country's total amount of CO2, US is the highest countries of CO2 emission, and China, Russia, India, Japan are following that. But on the left side graph, which means CO2 emission per person, the ranking is quite different. US is still the highest, but now the second is Russia and China, and Japan Japan, China, and India are following. The most strange thing you can look for is that China is second highest level of the country's CO2 emission, but it is second lowest one among these 5 countries on the per person graph. I think it is because China has too many population. So on the per person graph, the emission of China was divided into more than other countries. Finally, they have little of emission on the per person graph. This means the CO2 emission problem can be serious. China is a developing country, not a developed country. The people of China have possibility of emitting more CO2, developing their industry, using more product, making more garbage. But very small increasing of its Chinese can cause the CO2 disaster in the whole world. Whole world, China will be ranked on top on this graph, and that is not a celebrating that very bad thing. So we have to solve CO2 problem as soon as possible for our many developed countries, including China. Thank you for
I will talk about topic 1, global CO2 emissions. Figure 1 shows the total amount of CO2 produced by the whole country, and figure 2 shows the amount of CO2 produced by each person. According to figure 1, USA emits the most amount of CO2, and China is second, Russia is third, India is fourth, and Japan is fifth. However, in figure 2, countries' ranking of CO2 emission is different from figure 1, especially Chinese and Russian numerical value is very different. China emits a lot of CO2 nationally. However, Chinese per person CO2 emission is small relatively because Chinese population is so many. Chinese emit a lot of CO2 emission nationally. Also, in China, industries emit CO2 much more than each person. Meanwhile, Russia emits so many CO2 personally, much more than nationally. Because the Russian climate is so cold, each person has to use a lot of fireworks. Thank you.
I will talking about advantage of incinerator. There's two methods of disposal of waste. This is incinerator and this is landfill. I think incinerator is more benefit than landfill because it reduces cost of transportation and produce little other waste like ash. It decreases size of waste, so it can be benefit. And it don't need to worry about bacteria. Otherwise, landfill, there's problem with many of bacteria. And it doesn't matter with weather. Of course, it have disadvantage of incinerator. It require plenty of costs at first, and it need to other costs to manage it. And it also have problem with air pollution like dioxin. But it can contrast with other make air conditioner. And there's a new incinerator. It's called plasma incinerator. It can transfer waste to energy. In there, the heat heat reach at 20,000 degree of. It can transfer waste to hydrogen or gas, and it just produce little sludge. Sludge means waste of this, and it doesn't emit other dioxin, so there's any problem with air pollution. Thank you.